Hey everyone, I've been missing you so much this week. I thought it would be fun to keep one of our classroom traditions alive, even though we're so far apart. Every day I'll be posting a video of myself reading 2 chapters of our next Magic Treehouse book, Revolutionary War, on Wednesday. We had just finished up learning about Jack and Annie's newest challenge. Find 4 different kinds of writing. They found one kind on their visit to the time of the Civil War, a list. Let's see what kinds of writing they're looking for today. Chapter 1, Wednesday. Wake up, Jack, Annie whispered. Jack opened his eyes. He looked at his clock. It was 6 a.m. Come on, Annie whispered. She was standing at his bedroom door, already dressed. Now? Said Jack. Yeah, it's Wednesday. We have to go to the treehouse, she said. Oh man, Wednesday, said Jack. Suddenly, he was wide awake. We have to go help save Camelot, said Annie. I know, said Jack, scrambling out of bed. I'll meet you out front, said Annie. Jack quickly changed into his jeans and t-shirt. He threw his notebook and pencil into his backpack. Then he slipped down the stairs and out the front door. Annie was waiting in the gray early light. All set? She whispered. Yep, said Jack. They took off running across their yard. They ran down their quiet street and into the Frog Creek woods. Soon they came to the treehouse. They climbed up the rope ladder. In the early light, they saw Morgan's note, the same note they'd found on Sunday. Jack picked it up and read aloud. Dear Jack and Annie, Camelot is in trouble. To save the kingdom, please find these 4 special kinds of writing from my library. Something to follow, something to send, something to learn, and something to lend. Thank you, Morgan. Annie picked up a piece of paper lying on the floor. It was a list of rules from the famous nurse Clara Barton. They had met her on their journey to the Civil War. On Sunday, we found the first special writing, said Annie. Something to follow. Yeah, said Jack, and now we need to find the second thing, something to send. He picked up a book lying near the note. The cover showed soldiers on a snowy riverbank. The title was The Revolutionary War. Jack frowned. Uh-oh, said Annie. Another war? Said Jack, sighing. You still want to go? Said Annie. We have to, said Jack. He didn't like the suffering he'd seen in the Civil War, but they had no choice. They had to help Morgan and save Camelot. He pointed at the cover of the book. I wish we could go there, Jack said. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster, and then everything was still. Absolutely still. Chapter 2, Day or Night. Jack shivered. The wind blew hard. It's cold, he said. He could see his breath in the air. Wrap your scarf tighter, said Annie. Jack looked down. He had a wool scarf around his neck. He was also wearing woolen pants that buttoned at the knees, a coat, and a hat with 3 corners. On his feet were funny-looking shoes with buckles. In place of his backpack was a leather bag. Annie was wearing a long coat over a dress. Jack pulled his scarf tighter. Then he looked out the window with Annie. They landed in trees near an icy river. The sky was gray and heavy with clouds. It's almost day, or almost night. I can't tell, said Annie. Yeah, I hope it's almost day, said Jack. I wonder where we'll find something to send, said Annie. Jack shrugged. First we have to find the Revolutionary War, he said. He opened their research book. By the gray light he read, over 200 years ago. The United States was made up of 13 colonies ruled by Britain. From 1775 until 1782, American patriots fought for independence from Britain. This was called the Revolutionary War. Jack took out his notebook. He wrote, "American patriots fight for independence from Britain." Jack turned the page. There was a picture of soldiers in red uniforms. He read aloud. During the Revolutionary War, British soldiers wore red uniforms. For this reason, they were called redcoats. Jack wrote in his notebook, "British equals redcoats." "Wow, snow," said Annie. Jack looked up from his writing. Annie was holding her hand out the window. A few snowflakes blew into the treehouse. "Not much yet," said Jack, "but we'd better find the special writing soon." "Well, stop reading and come on," said Annie. She buttoned up her coat and started down the ladder. Okay, said Jack. He packed the research book and his notebook into his bag. Then he followed Annie. When they stepped onto the ground, there were a few more snow flurries. The sky was growing darker. "I'm afraid it's almost night instead of day," said Jack. "Yeah," said Annie, looking around. "Hey, look, people!" She pointed up the river. In the misty distance was a campfire. Several men sat around the fire. They all held muskets. "Maybe they could help us," said Annie. She started away, but Jack grabbed her. "Wait, I think they're soldiers," he said. "They have muskets. Remember the muskets from the Civil War? The guns that the soldiers carried?" "Oh, yeah," said Annie. "They might be redcoats," said Jack. "Let's sneak closer and get a better look at their uniforms." "Quick," said Annie, "before it's too dark to see." Chapter 3. It's time. All right, comment your predictions below and about what will happen next. Keep them sweet.